A little over 4 years ago from today, I began my journey as a watch collector when I purchased my first ever mechanical timepiece. Over the years, many watches have both entered and exited my collection, but I've gotten to the point in my watch collecting journey where I can definitely say that I'm satisfied with the status of my collection. But then again, there are still many pieces that I'd like to add to my collection, and I'll probably end up selling pieces from my personal collection later down the road, but who knows. Hello everyone, my name's Ben. I'm a lifestyle enthusiast and a watch fanatic, and today I wanted to share my passion for watches by sharing my personal watch collection. Hopefully by doing so, I can spark a discussion amongst other watch enthusiasts and ignite a passion for the next generation of watch lovers. So the first watch I wanted to talk about is of course the first ever watch that I ever purchased. It's my Seiko 5 Diver with the black bezel. This is really special to me, for one, because it's my first watch ever, and also I've worn this to special events all throughout my college career, to extracurricular events, to seminars, to meetings, to competitions, and this watch is just really versatile. It goes with really casual outfits, and at one point I even pulled it off with a suit for a meeting. So I really love this watch, and it's definitely never gonna leave my collection. To continue with the theme of Seiko, the second watch that I want to talk about is my Seiko Series 055. This is a special watch to me because this was given to me by my girlfriend on my birthday, and I've worn this to all different types of occasions. I've worn this to my first ever internship, wore this to my work, to classes, and it's just a really versatile piece of watch. It's very elegant, but it's still very masculine, you could say. It goes with a lot of different outfits, and underneath the sunlight, this watch just simply looks spectacular. The third watch that I want to talk about is my tag Heuer Monaco. Its reference is from the early 2000s. It's definitely a neo-vintage piece. This one's special to me because it was my first ever luxury timepiece, and at first I was a little bit taken aback by the unconventional square design, but as the years went by, I started loving it a lot. It's had some cameos in some TV shows that I really enjoyed, such as Breaking Bad. I believe this was Walter White's watch from Jesse Pinkman. He got it as a birthday gift, I believe, 52nd birthday present. And also this watch was worn by Derek Shepherd in Grey's Anatomy. I believe he's actually an ambassador for the brand. But anyways, it's really special to me. I really like the way it feels on the wrist. It looks super manly, but at the same time it can still go with a suit. I used to work in a lab, and with the lab coat it would look super cool. And it keeps really nice time, and it's a watch that is gonna get a lot of recognition, not only because of the branding, but also because of its unconventional shape. People will either love it or they might not like it, but either way, I really love this watch, and it's definitely a keeper in the collection. The fourth watch that I want to talk about is my Denim Omega Railmaster. This watch is really special to me because it has special ties to my girlfriend. It's a watch that reminds me that no matter how into watches I am, I should never put it above any of my loved ones. The dial on this watch is simply beautiful. It feels really good on the wrist. The only downside is that there's no micro adjustments, but luckily I got lucky with the fit. It fits my wrist pretty well. The dial, if you look at it underneath the sun, it just has it just really attracts you. It's definitely an eye candy of a piece, and this is a timepiece that I used to wear to the lab all the time because of its anti-magnetic properties. The next watch is my Rolex Explorer 2, reference number 16570. It's the Y serial number from the early 2000s. It's another neo-vintage model, and this was my most recent acquisition to my collection. I got it for myself as a birthday gift, and this is actually my first ever personal Rolex that I'm owning. And to put it frankly, ever since I've gotten it, I've just been in absolute love with it. I'm still in the honeymoon phase, It's been a little over a month. Um, at first, it has the hollow link, so I thought I wasn't gonna like it because I do like to feel a bit of a presence on my wrist, but it actually feels really comfortable. And its easy link adjustments came in really handy, and it's still heavy enough that it leaves a presence on your wrist, so it feels really good. And also I banged it on the wall a couple times and it actually didn't get any scratches, and for how old this watch is, it's actually in really pristine condition considering that it's never been polished before. But this is a classic model by Rolex. It's super masculine, and I just like how it's under the radar. It's not super flashy unlike the other Rolex models like the Submariners. So I really enjoy this piece, and this is definitely going to be in the collection for long term, and who knows, maybe it'll be passed down to my children. The next watch might be a bit of a controversial pick, but it's my Steinhardt GMT 500. It's pretty clear that this watch has taken inspirational cues from the Rolex Batman, but in my personal opinion, it has its own distinguishable features that allow it to be its own unique timepiece without being considered an homage. And I got this timepiece because I really like the Rolex Batman, but at the time I just couldn't afford a Rolex, so I decided to settle for a cheaper alternative instead. And this watch has a special place in my heart because I was going through a really tough time right around the time that I got this watch, and every time I felt grief or was feeling down, this watch was on my wrist. So this watch has definitely earned its place in my collection, and it's definitely going to be staying. The next watch is my Bulova Chronograph with a Valjoux 7750 movement. I love this watch because of its panda dial. It does kind of resemble a Daytona, but it's still different if you put it side by side. And when I saw it, I just really like the design of it. And this watch and I, we've gone through a lot. I've actually wore this to the wedding of my mentor last year, and this watch is just super versatile. It goes with a lot of different outfits. I usually wear it either to the office or whenever I would just go out, in casual clothing. It works in both settings, so I just really love this watch. The next watch is a G-Shock. It's the one that resembles the Royal Oak. I got this G-Shock for one because G-Shocks are a great tool watches, and watch collectors of all levels, they've basically had a G-Shock in their collection at some point. And I got this as a Christmas gift from my girlfriend last year, and ever since it's definitely been one of my favorites. It's one of my go-to watches for workouts. I time my runs with it. I also keep track of time with it when I'm just at the gym. So it just is all around super cool watch, super cool design, and it's definitely here to stay. The second to last watch in my collection is my Seiko Blue Alpinist. It's a simply stunning watch. The dial is beautiful to look at, and I've also owned the regular Alpinist, and I really love that watch as well, but that watch is not in my collection currently, and this watch has stayed, so that should tell you which one I prefer. If you just look at this watch under the sunlight, it just simply looks beautiful, and I wear this watch for a lot of my formal occasions. I wear it to the office, I wore it every time I had an interview, and also I know this watch is very coveted, and it commands a premium in the secondary market, but luckily I was able to get it at a retail price, and I think it's safe to say that this watch is here to stay in my collection for a long time. So the last watch in my collection is another Casio, but this one's not a G-Shock, it's just a regular Casio Illuminator. I got it like a year and a half ago, and ever since it's been a really good companion. It's accompanied me to many workouts. It's really great at keeping time, and I frequently use the stopwatch setting. And in terms of value for money, this is probably the best in all of my collection. And I actually got this at Walmart with a free Walmart gift card that I received. And and even though it was only $20, I was really happy with the purchase, and I definitely did go through a honeymoon phase with this watch. I'm still in love with it, don't get me wrong. So in terms of joy received per dollar spent, this is probably the best watch. So that's it for my current personal watch collection. Are there any watches that I'm looking out for future purchases? Yes. There are a couple candidates, such as the Omega Seamaster 300, the 2012 edition, the IWC Portuguese, JLC Reverso, or a Zenith El Primero 38mm. But the Omega is at the top of my list for now, and maybe in a couple of months when universities proceed with graduation ceremonies, maybe then I'll get it for myself as a graduation gift. But until then, this is my watch collection. I'm gonna continue to enjoy every single one of these watches, and thank you so much for watching my video. I'm planning on making a lot more content in the future, so I'd really appreciate it if you can subscribe and like the video. It'll really help out the channel a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching.